Right at this point in time, we are in Love Lane downtown, where we have just fed hundreds of persons who are hungry, living in deplorable conditions on the street. And so this ministry has decided to give a feedback so that you can see how the Jamaican people are in need. Talking about independence and emancipation, this is what it truly means to be a Jamaican, to give back to those who are in need. So right now we are going to hear from one of the very persons who actually live on the street to get an idea what life is like living homeless on the street downtown Kingston. Hi, how are you?
Not bad.
What is your name? Tell us your name.
Gary.
Gary. All right, Gary, tell us a little about your life and the life of persons living in downtown Kingston. What it is like to live on the streets being homeless.
Well, it is like a jungle out there, just to fight to survive. And sometimes you have some church people and some others dedicated people from all branches may come and give us something to eat.
Okay.
Right?
But how often is that? How often do they give you?
Well, sometimes they
food?
give you probably on a weekend especially.
In the
like
weekends?
Yes. On a Saturdays or Sundays and sometimes on Mondays.
Okay.
But sometimes it comes from various different churches.
Okay.
But living on the street as a street person, it's a very hard thing, and sometimes it can be very easy. Because why use the boats word? It's hard to really find a shelter, especially a safe shelter in the night, where most of the facilities are filled up, like run by Poor Leaf, are filled up with people, and sometimes it's so full that even some of the street people cannot get anywhere to sleep more than on the sidewalk.
So you're saying that there are hundreds or maybe hundreds of persons who are homeless and living in shelter, nowhere to go.
And sometimes some of them, the way the shelter full, we have to go come on the street and live on the street for years till probably some assistance may reach us.
So tell us now about, so you are on the street or do you live in a shelter?
Well, I'm living in a shelter at this moment,
but you have experience
with it for 22 years.
So you have
and
experience with living on the street. Tell us about some of the issues, the persons who are living on the street with no shelter accommodations.
Yeah.
What it is like? Is it violent? Is it scary? Is it?
Yes.
Tell us about the life living on the street.
It is both violent and scary, because sometimes you may find being here living on the street, some idle fellas cut them up, drop stone in their heads.
Just for nothing?
Just for nothing. Why you don't live in a weirdo? Even when you're asleep, rob you, kill you. Because I have seen a lot of bodies in downtown, places like that. Yeah. Dropping stone in their heads. And
so normal people just see the persons on the street and just pick up a stone and drop it because they're saying that they're homeless and they have no purpose, pretty much.
To live for. It's terrible. It's terrible. But nowadays I notice it not really that violence like 3 years or 2 years ago, but it's sort of cut down now. I don't know if it's the police or whatsoever, but it cut down. Probably through the blessing of God. Because sometimes the church people come and pray and say, Lord, I'm dying for these things over for the people. I'm dying for a little better come their ways.
Right, so you get encouragement from the church, from various churches. So what is it? You have a view as to what, or the experience rather, as to what life is all about, living on the street or in the shelter, right? And you know that you have Jamaicans who are well off, who will be able, not necessarily well off, but those who are in a little better situation than you are, that can lend a helping hand. What is your plea to the public, to Jamaica, those who can help? What's your plea to them?
Well, my plea to them would be like, if they can give us some more assistance.
In what way would you want assistance?
I wouldn't really like say financially, because the money would take and give us could buy something to eat.
Right.
But they provide the meal and care for us.
So you're asking for persons to make it a part of their agenda, to make that sacrifice. It's not even a sacrifice really, because if it is that we truly say that we are Jamaicans, that we love, we ought to just give back with a willing heart, right? So you are saying that you would love if more Jamaicans would come out and cook some meals and give it back to those who are. How long has it been? If you say, for example, you got some food today, right? Or not just specifically to you, but also other persons on the street. How long after this meal will they be eating again? After this meal?
Well, after this meal, we'll probably may eat tomorrow. And probably some of the shelters may cook and
but for those who don't live in a shelter, how long would they eat?
Sometimes it take probably a day or two or so.
And do you think you'd be able to say that there have or might be persons who maybe go 3 days, 4 days a week?
I don't really see them go 3 days a week. Sometimes they meet in a Peter's Lane. That is a place where them call him.
So they always try to find
Right,
a way to
a way because
to get
some of them
food.
here say, well, I cannot take it in the morning find themselves bored in a like a place like them go to that and say I need a breakfast or I need a something. But sometimes them go there, the meal is not that properly.
Gary, right? That's your name. All right, so Gary, I thank you so much for sharing your experience and the experience of living in downtown Kingston on the streets, or whether or not in a shelter. It is still a condition that it's not
It's somebody
suitable,
not
right?
suitable.
You just need some more
Some more
assistance.
assistance.
So Jamaica, you have heard the cry of someone who's in need, right? Or a representative of those who are in need. You can make that difference by setting aside some funds. It doesn't cost a lot. Once it is that you include God, He will provide, but you make that sacrifice and give back to the poor. Gary, it was a pleasure, and I pray that you just stay strong, because I know that living in this situation, you have to be strong. But I want to also encourage you that there is a God that is seeing, as you would know, because He has been sending help your way, right? So just keep encouraged and know that there's a God that's watching over you, and pray to Him whenever you're in need.
And sometimes I really go to the churches too, and get like a blessing.
Okay.
Sometimes I go to the churches when I really go there for food and get like a blessing.
Blessing, that is
after the
good.
blessing, the Lord will
The
provide.
spiritual food is also
Yes,
important.
yes.
All right, thank you so much. All right,
Thank you.
so that's it. You have heard it. This is real. This is the reality of Jamaica, right? So if it is that you want to make a difference, just get up, pray, and ask God to show you the way and provide for those who are in need. Blessings.